Hello, everybody. Welcome on into the Dungeon Lounge. It's me, Elizabeth. A day late, but for me, it still feels Tuesday-ish because Monday was a holiday for Labor Day, which I always say like Homestar Runner. But hello. Yes, hi Tater. You were indeed first. Hello, Nox. Hello, Teacup. Hello, Lenneth. No lobotomies. At least not on stream. Monetize it on your stream. Also, don't do it. Also, maybe just don't. Just don't. No. Anyways, happy Wednesday. This is a weird day for me to streaming because this is usually very much a Flora day. So I feel like I'm stealing. I know I'm not stealing because she's not even here, but feeling of stealing intensifying. Anyway, we are back to work on my son, my firefighting son. The first thing I wanted to do today is I kind of wanted to go over the metallics. I was kind of taking like a sober second look compared to the legs, and I found the meta color came off it's a little duller on here than it is on the legs. So I want to kind of give it another pass because it's going to bother me if I don't. And it's going to bother me the further I go. So it's like, we'll nip it in the bud now. How dare you boop my snoot, Nox? How dare. So first things first, ye old tarnished brass. And hello, Silver Knight. That was not a cue for you to join in. Oh, sorry. I guess we should also introduce, I don't know if I call this my son, but like adopted child, the thing that makes the panko burr. It's here. Ishmael, that was also not an invitation for you to boop my snoot. Uh-oh. I gotta be careful. Ish actually plays Warhammer, so if I say something really stupid, he's gonna call me on it. He's gonna be like, I'm gonna be like, Imperial Knights work for the Tyranids, and he'll be like, Elizabeth, excuse me, what? I know that's wrong, by the way. You do it again, how dare you? I gotta make this good stirred. It's really burring today. I don't know if you can hear that on the mic. You might not be able to. I don't think it's picking up the booping. But yeah. Alrighty. So I'm not going to use the wet palette for the tarnished brass because I'm dry brushing it, and I don't want to add more moisture than I need to. Ooh. Yellow, start bringing things up early. This might be too absorbent to use the paper towel. I might have to use the wet palette. I might have done a no-no. Let's get some on the brush at least. Yeah, I immediately regret my actions. But we are dry brushing all the butt. So you know what? Yeah, I'm going to quickly just get some. That's true. But one, I'm like 90% sure she's working today. And also, like, I kind of decided on this last minute. So I didn't want to be like, hello, Sasha. I've made a last minute stupid decision. Please come join me. Grim is here. Hi, Grim. Are you still having a bad time? Is the night new? I don't think so. Like, I've been paying this guy for a couple weeks now. I don't think he's new. What? No. I'm pretty sure FedEx is a piece of poop. I have been waiting all day for a package that never showed up because FedEx sucks. Please send your derision towards FedEx. They are supposed to be delivering my food for my kitty babies, and the food has not arrived. My babies will starve. No, they won't. I have more food. Might be a little too much. Might be going, but that's okay. Package, I know. Very frustrating. When was the Imperial Knights? I don't know. I mean, I think they've been around for a while. They became a faction more recently, and that you could field an entire army of them if you wanted to. Not that you could really field more than like one or two at a time because they're so freaking huge. Okay, yeah, I am liking. It is at least looking brighter, and I like that more. No, so purple light reflecting off the black of the model looks blue when you change things. Yeah, I like the tarnished brass because it's got like a couple like hues to it. I like that. Which in they were a thing before. This night is this night is from the newer line. And I feel like there was like what's the called the Warlord Titan, which is in like the there's called like a basically like a made to print line called Forge Worlds in Warhammer, and I think the Warlord Titan comes out of that line, and that one no no, like that thing is like I remember a channel I follow called Midwinter Minis. He bought one and he bought it like after like basically he made it like a Patreon reward. I think he said it was like £1,000. So, you know, convert that to Canadian dollar dues and like the thing is like, congratulations, this is now your dinner centerpiece. The thing is freaking huge. Ash. Oh, I can fix that. I knew that was gonna happen probably when I came back in to do this repair. Or not repair, touching up, making prettier. Whitens. White hot. I'm gonna be careful. The paint's pooling a little bit because I'm not getting quite dry brush levels. I'm trying to focus on the areas that are most visible because like a lot of this is going to get covered up by the boys' arms when they get attached. New electric so the thing of Galbos. I know Electric Light Orchestra because my parents had problems. That's not true. My parents are just this was the band that came out while they were young and they liked it. And then they're like, we've had children. We will now indoctrinate them to the things we like. They will not like I felt it was so weird. Like I remember like my school I grew up in, they had like one of those like, you know, dances or whatever. And they were like, you know, we want the music to all be stuff that we know our students will enjoy. So everyone bring in like a tape or a CD of a band you like. They got people bringing in, you know, Red Hot Chili Peppers and like all sort of stuff. Guess what I bring in? I bring in the Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band album because by that point I didn't know musicians existed after the 1970s. And I felt like so like I felt very like the feeling now would be called cringe, but I was too young at the time. The word had not yet been ascribed to it. It is a good record. Like, don't get me wrong. Sergeant, you know, they're good. Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club is a good band, but like, keep in mind when you're like impressionable young child and you're trying not to be ostracized for being the weird one, bringing in Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band when everyone else is bringing in like Eminem and Red Hot Chili Peppers and like what was it, another one like Green Day. I didn't look good. It was not a good day for Elizabeth. The teachers appreciated it though. Sorry. Oh, 2 vinyls on one record. That's cool. I don't have a lot of vinyls, mostly because I don't have a vinyl player. So it's kind of like, why? I do like that's no better. Yeah, that's much brighter. I do like that more. Wood. Yeah, I feel that will be more cohesive with his leggies. I also brought out my pencil today if I'm feeling brave, and I can start doing some of the heraldry line work if I'm feeling brave. We'll see if I get there. Just because I find like I can't 100% freehand it. I need to have like at least a pencil reference, which is I admit I'm very intimidated by that part. I do think I might save it more towards the end. Oh, thank you. How'd your line work? So here, I've mentioned before. Here, I'm gonna put you up, down, here. Don't fall. Okay. So our boy has these shoulder pauldrons. So like here, I'll show you. So they will kind of like mount like, oh, wrong way. They'll kind of mount like this, which is why I've taped off this section to leave it, to make sure the glue goes good. Anyways, so I'm kind of like segmenting these panels into 2 each, like, because there's like this dividing line. And then I'm going to kind of paint something for each member of the Dungeon Lounge that I associate with that member. So like, say, for instance, for Sasha, my plan is to do a cat. I'm still a bit torn on myself if I'm going to do like a teacup, because like, I mean, we have literally a community member named Teacup. So I feel like if I put teacup, it'll just be, it's teacup. Right. Yeah. Like heraldry is like an emblem, something that the idea is like on knights and things like that. Like, you know, when the knight has a shield and it's got a raven in it, it's like, oh, it's the Black Raven Knight who has bested all of these guys and also is honorable or chivalrous, or maybe he's a jackass. Like the idea is like it announces the thing. So in this case, because I want to kind of stick to like Dungeon Lounge colors and stuff like that, it's kind of like this is supposed to be the lounge. So yeah. The night that was mastered by a cat. Yeah, so like I will say this is very like for me Games of Thronesy. My first bit of line work years ago on a mini, the person had a shield and on it I did a silver fox. At least what I hope looked like a silver fox. On a purple background. So the idea is that it is going to be relatively like, don't look for like hyper realistic cat painting. I ain't gonna do that. Yeah, the 40K Knights do it too, which is why I'm continuing the style. But like it's usually best to be more like silhouette-y, shapey. Griffins show up a lot as like the heraldry. I'm probably thinking of Dragon Age. But yeah, like for Flora, I was going to do her son Frog Detective, and for Grimm, doing a tulip for his homeland. So yeah, trying to keep it to relatively simple shape. Maybe I'll just do a cookie for me. Or maybe I'll do gummies. Maybe a little gummy bear. A little gummy bear. I don't know. It's still like very much, but like the intention is like before I start laying down any like paints, I'm going to sketch out what I want to do so I don't completely fucky uppy. Yeah, that's the thing is I think Griffins are already done, so it's like don't know if I wanted to like repeat. But yeah, definitely pushing my hobby painting boundaries. Getting our CanCon in early, I see. Because as I said, I haven't done a lot of like that kind of like freehandy. I usually try and like stick in the lines. Oh no, there's a cat hair on here. Yeah. Girl Beast, how dare you? There we go. Got it. More tarnished brass. Yeah, so like you could have me have like maybe a kingdom who has like a strong textile history. Yeah, they could 100% maybe have like a yarn ball as their thing. Or maybe, you know, it's the preferred toy of like the royal cat leader of a nation. Like you can go really fun with it if you want to. So, which I encourage. it's a little thick again. Blech. Don't want to fill the holes. It's just we're still here, and you don't mind my asking, did your move go okay? I want to make sure you're doing okay. But if you're like, not chat's business, I also understand. Okay, I might need to just get a little bit of a... no, I figured it. No, oh no, I feel like there's a story behind that, and I'm sorry, I didn't mean to drag it up. I'm sorry. Yeah, we do have to remember to fix that. Not any here. So I'm trying to figure out what to, because there's this whole part here. I feel like I should write something here, but I don't know what. You just noticed. All right. So I had curry tonight for dinner, and I thought I washed my hands thoroughly, but I just saw the underside of my thumb. That's turmeric, everybody. 10 a.m. to 2 a.m. when I gave up. Oh no. Where's your flower comes in your average up as a banshee, so yeah, I mean, yeah, I could do this flower that I wear in my hair. That is also an option. That is very true. Doesn't have to be gummies. Oh, is that for beast talking? Maybe not. The help that was hired helped, but then kind of, oh, God, I hate it when that happens. Like you were literally being paid. This is your job. Do your fucking job. Oh, well, that'd do it. Don't hire family to do your move. Or rather, like if family volunteers, that's one thing. But if I have found like with a lot of stuff, it is easier just to pay someone to do the job properly rather than contracting a family friend or whatever and then finding out that they are not worth what, like it's like, oh, I'm going to save some money or whatever. And then it's like, All right. No, I think that's better. It's brighter at least. And it's more brassy, which is what I want. Okay. To this. We're gonna, so I'm going to explain for Ish because I think it's his first time seeing my kit for my Imperial Knight. The story is my Imperial Knight isn't actually like a battler Imperial Knight. He's actually now he's a firefighter because someone has to fight the fires in Northern Ontario. So he's got a chainsaw for cutting down the bush and trees and things that need to be, cleared away. And then I know this looks like a gun, but it's actually a hose. This is where water comes from. Don't ask where the water tank is. That's a dumb question. But yeah, that's his lore. Teehee. Because if anyone ever asks, why don't I field my son in like the fields of battle? It's like, no, that's not where my son goes. My son does not go to battle. He is in Northern Ontario fighting wildfires. And it sounds like you had a very frustrating weekend, Nish, so I'm really sorry. You did not deserve that. You guys have been through enough. You deserve good things and cupcakes. Okay, maybe not cupcakes because maybe you can't have them, but cupcakes that you know are sugar free. Oops, painted my fingy. Dysentery a water tank. Yeah. He's carrying the water in his tummy. That's where that's instead of a cockpit. Cupcake enough. Fair enough, fair enough. Funnily enough, I've been watching I think I've mentioned before, I've been watching a lot of British Bake Off, so now like I do definitely have like the I could bake. I could bake that. Look at that idiot who can't bake cookies. I can make cookies. Which is not true. You shouldn't assume just because someone's struggling with something, it just means you could do it better. But I'm arrogantly stupid like that sometimes. Ah! Don't touch where the paint is. That's right. You get paint on your finger. No, it's all clean. God, I know the soggy bottoms. Like it is fun just hearing all the British slang sometimes. The claggy bottoms. Soggy bottom. God. I'm still reeling. Because the new season isn't out yet, I've been watching the old seasons because I haven't watched them before, so it's all new to me. And I finished, I think it's season 14 a couple days ago, and there was this one contestant, I think I've ranted about her before, named Nikki, and she's Scottish, but she's like the funny Scottish, where like I think she just kind of emerged fully formed from the woods one day and then decided to go to baking show because like at one point they were doing like an interview, like post one of the challenges, and she was like, "Oh, I think that we'd really well. Oh, I think I just love to go for a skip in the meadow." And then what does she do? She skips away to be in the meadow. And it's like, live your best life. Oh, you love Mary. I haven't seen the season with Mary. I've seen Prue, Allison, and Noel. I don't have any of the history. Yeah. Oh, was it specifically your stuff that he fucked off for? She does feel it. She felt like a fae. I think I literally remember like making this other comment where she's just like, she feels like a fae, where she just skips away one day. I was legitimately upset when she was eliminated. Like she was eliminated properly. Like she did not have a good day on the day that she was eliminated. Spoilers for a 2-year-old season at this point, but I was like, no, not Nikki, not Nikki. My wee face Scottish girl. Okay, that is coming up brighter. I do like that better. Good. Because you can kind of see the two. Like, it's obvious to me. I don't know if it's coming through on camera, but it's like there is definitely this is brighter, and I like it. This is gonna make my paint water weird. All this metallic. Don't drink it. Regardless, remember, despite how delicious the paint water looks, you don't drink it. Or you know what? Do. I mean, ultimately, I can't stop you, but I will make a frowny face as we have to go to the ER to pump your stomach. I wonder if there's ever been a contest that been like, who can have the most paint water before they get sick. I feel like it's a dumb contest. Don't do it. But things I wonder about when I'm dry brushing. I'm sure, like, the thing is like, it's easy to accidentally do it. Like, no one, like, the problem is like, like even right now, my legit drink is right next to my paint water. We are talking about an if not when situation. When does Elizabeth accidentally drink the paint water? It is not an if. It's one of these days I'm going to be like, my drink tastes weird, and chat's going to scream at me, "You're drinking paint water, you dum dum." I'd be like, "Oops, not the water, but pumping something." True. Okay, fair enough. Don't tell the Marine Corps they will. Also true. I mean, thankfully right now my drink is in a can. And yep. Oh, hey. Back. Stop that. True enough. Brrr. I thankfully never needed to have my stomach pumped. I don't ever want to have my stomach pumped if it can be helped. I'm pretty sure the experience sucks. I mean, the biggest thing I get to get eager for is I had a visit with my doctor, and unfortunately, because of my family history, I have to get a colonoscopy. And I don't want to have colonoscopy, but unfortunately, when you've had parents that have had cancer, they're like, now you're gonna get it. So we have to stick a camera up your butt. And I'm like, no. I'm just praying they give me the good drugs. Please give me the good drugs. Record was 14. Oh, what? What? Oh, no, no. You don't, that is not some forbidden rock candy. Don't. God. And also I feel like, because that stuff is supposed to like dry you, it's supposed to like keep stuff dry. So I feel like it would like, let's be clear. Our interiors are largely moist. Aw, poor him. I will let you know if Feral Beast comes by. She walked by behind me to eat, but she immediately fucked off.
Oh, look at you. You're so cute. Yes, you are, kitty.
Shaky,
yes,
shaky tail. I always happy when I see the shaky tail, because it means the kitty's happy. Well, Feral Beast, did you hear me talking shit about you? Aw, that's good for the doggos. Get those doggos their walkos. Aw. Oh, Feral Beast, do you want uppies? Did you hear Porum is getting attention and not you? Come on. Be decisive, baby. All right, please tell the people that you love them and there. Whoop. I can see your nose here. There. Say hello. Chad has been waiting for you. Oh, cool. Tell us about the dry brush process I'm carving. All right, so dry brushing is, bear in mind, keep in mind I'm not an expert about shit. The basic idea of dry brush is you want to put
you. You're so cute. Yes, you are, kitty.
You want to put a bit of the pigment onto your brush, and then you want to basically, the term is wicking, I think, but to get as much paint off the brush as possible. Because the idea is that when you want to paint, you want the paint to hit the raised edges, but you generally don't want it to get into the deep recesses. So I'll kind of show you on the boy's legs. Ugh. Yes, baby. So you can kind of see here, like the paint hit the kind of the surface of the ball, but like the more you get into the recess, the more you get into the recess, it's still black. It's still the undercoat that I painted. And you can kind of see it also like here. There's parts where the paint didn't really get to. And that's kind of the idea with dry brushing, is you're going for like these quick surface only strokes with a little bit of paint at a time. And the big thing to keep in mind with dry brushing is you can't go in, or rather you need to be careful about going in too heavy too quickly. Because if you put too much paint, and then if there's too much paint on your brush when you start dry brushing, the paint will get into the cracks, which is what you're trying to avoid. So It's easier to just build up slow layers of dry brushing. So, I mean, there was some helpful information that Grimm posted, I believe, that since you're starting with wood, 100% of sealer needs to be first. I'll be honest, I have not done much painting on wood, so I can't really comment on what works for it. But yeah, like it does. The little bits that I've heard from people is that wood as a plant is literally a porous surface, so you want to put some sealer down first to reduce that. Otherwise, every layer of paint will just get basically sucked in and you won't see any changes to the wood for a little bit. I've done a few times when I painted MDF. That's the problem I've had if I haven't sealed it first or it didn't come pre-sealed. Paint absorbs, or not paint. Plants absorb. So that's definitely something you need to consider first. Yeah. Yeah. MDF can be a nightmare. And then once you've done that, I mean, it depends on what kind of effect you're going for. I do like washes for kind of getting a good like light and shadow contrast, and you can get sometimes the same effect with dry brushing, and sometimes you can get it with both. Like sometimes it's good to combine the both. I've done dry brushing and washes on different parts of minis as I painted. So yeah. But ultimately, like I would say I am a hobby painter that paints when she doesn't have to go to her full-time job. So I watch other people who are better at it talk about it on the internet. So I highly recommend you go check in with those more experienced people than me. Because the great thing I've learned about like any sort of like hobby is that there is a community for it, and that community has put videos on YouTube. Because that was like, I would say the big help that I had when I was working on the Magical Cafe was finding out that there was basically just entire channels dedicated to this is me going through my build and just like watching what they did when I got confused about what an instruction meant. Yeah, I remember you posting a photo of the Discord. I think it came out quite well when it got all machined through. It looked cool. But yeah, like I would say it could benefit from a good make sure you seal it, and then I would personally start with a wash on it, or at least like I feel like that would, if it were personally me painting it, I would go for a very minimalist job. One, because I think I like to see the original wood to show. Like it looks like a very lovely piece of wood, and I wouldn't want that to get lost under a lot of layers of paint or pigment. But pick out a few key details, like maybe like some eyes, maybe like an item that the dragon is holding. I can't remember the exact pose it's doing. I'm stronger than the boo boo. Oh no! Oh no! Ugh. That's ultimately the frustrating thing I find about like a lot of these, like, because you see it with Pokemon cards, you see it with Labubu, like Labingos, and you've got basically kids who just want to engage with the hobby who really can't get more than a couple because, you know, it's going to be whatever their parents buy for them. They can't do aggressive collecting. Then you do have the aggressive like adult collectors who have the ability to either do multiple gachas or whatever like that. And then you get the assholes, the ones who are looking for a quick buck while it's a fad. Yeah. And it's just so, like, I wonder how many like little kids, you know, desire or enthusiasm for Pokemon, or at least the card game, has been dampened because they got scammed out of like a legit rare card or things like that by a bunch of like assholes looking to make $500 off of, you know, a nice mint, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah, you probably got some horror stories to tell, Lish, about people being shit collectors. Because I think you were more with the Yu-Gi-Oh cards, but you can correct me on that. I know kind of like each of the hobby stores downtown kind of each picked their like card game niche. Like one was Yu-Gi-Oh, one was Pokemon, one was Magic. Well, there was a few Magic, because Magic was that big, but the kid unsupervised. Yeah, I mean, there's also that too. Like, please monitor your children on the internet, please. Like, it's frustrating because it used to be like, I remember someone commenting on this. It used to be kind of like relatively safe spaces for children. Like, if you wanted to, give your kid an hour of screen time, you could be like, here, go to the Barbie website, play some Flash games, go to Neopets, and it would be relatively safe. Like, I'm not saying it's perfect. There's no such thing as a perfect safe space on the internet, but like, it was a site designed for kids, like that kind of mindset. It was, and it resulted in kind of like a relatively okay space. It was Yu-Gi-Oh! Okay. The guy bragged about trading at 25. Oh, God, yeah. It was Yu-Gi-Oh! Ugh. Bleh. Adults ruin hobbies for kids. Ish is a very commendable soul because he always speaks up when he sees tomfoolery. He does not stand for the tomfoolery. Yeah, all three? Okay, fair enough. The other thing is, I think they all did it, but I think like the different tournaments were at different stores. Again, I could be entirely wrong. I never played any of the card games, to be honest. So that was not my hobby niche. We get much together. Oh, her sparkle ball form wants to be sparkly. She wants to be the prettiest. Okay. I like that a lot better. Okay, good. I am glad I did another pass on that. I am much happier with how that looked. All right. Now, to repair my oopses. Hello, my son. Welcome back, Apocalyptic Red. Yes, it is. It is nice when you get because I know that's been a big issue with Flora's cat Gibson. Gibson, despite being an impressive boy, has been told he needs to lose a little weight, but he does not want to exercise. Wait, I need to get a brush out before I start doing the repair work. Well, yeah, you'll do. I'm just doing quick repair work. Heard her yelling by me. Oh, I love it when they do that. It's really cute when they're like, this toy, I want this toy. Yay, it's Florence. She had a new single come out, and I love it. I love the song so badly. And apparently she's got a new album coming out, and I'm very happy. Now the question is if she does a tour, do I try and put the money aside to go? But it's a bit of a challenge. Stir, 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 stir. Yeah. Well, the thing is, I think honestly, like, I think at least my experience has been that pets benefit from interactive. Like, I haven't seen a lot of pets that will self play with toys. Like, they usually will like bring a toy to a person, or they want to be played with. But that's been my experience. I could be wrong. Like, again, every animal's got their own little furry personalities. So. Just gonna fix my over aggressive dry brushing. I mean, would you want your pets? I mean, let's be clear. I would not want Feral Beast to join me in any video games. One, she's a bully. She would 100%. Like, if there was like a game of like Halo or whatever, and we're like, okay, like here you go, Feral Beast 1, here you go, Feral Beast 2. Feral Beast 1 would bully the shit out of Feral Beast 2. It'd be like, give me the controller, you're going to your room. Go to your room, feral beast. You've done a naughty, and I do not forgive you. Okay. Oh, there's another spot down here. Also another deer. Oh, cool. The most I see in this area are foxes. I've never seen a deer this far and like I'm too close to civilization to see a deer. Honestly, if I did see a deer, I'd be more like, oh, dear God, call animal control. Like, we got a problem. They should not be this close. They will get hit by a car. Down 2 homes again. So, oh, you're in a more rural area than me-ish, but that must have been cool nonetheless, or potentially nerve-wracking. Like most of the reason I find it nerve-wracking, I'm just like, no, why are you here? I worry for you. Mainly because I have seen coyotes, so it's mostly like you're gonna get, which I mean, I know it's the circle of life, but oh, yo, yans, yep, yep, yep. Sorry, old meme. Don't know why I found that funny. I'm sorry. Oh, I have never been to a place where it's like, be careful, there be bears. It was funny. I remember a coworker of mine years ago. Well, former coworker, they quit. Smart person. They got the hell out. Anyways, they when they were talking about where they were moving to, one of my other coworkers, the argument they made that for the reason she shouldn't leave is like, where you're going, there are bears. You've increased your likelihood of a bear attack by moving, and you shouldn't do it. It didn't work. They still moved. And as far as I know, they have not died to bear. I could be wrong. I did not regularly check the bear nomming periodicals to see if my former coworker had been eaten by a bear. And let's be honest, I don't care enough. She was a lovely person, but she was shit at her job. Shh. I didn't say that part. And that's true, yeah. Honestly, yeah, they usually don't. That's the thing with most animals. They don't want to be near us. We kind of force the issue because we're assholes. Yeah. Kind of like with raccoons, like the same, like raccoons generally don't want to be near people. When they come near you, this usually means it's a problem. Ooh, actually, what I would bear. Oh, that's scary. Ooh, that's scary, Lenneth. Did the door hold? What is it? Okay, so the door's held. Okay. Ooh. Okay, how's that? Okay. Okay, that is. There's a couple parts here where the paint job's a bit weak, so I can tighten that up. Oop. was like, what kind of rate should I be paying? Oh, Lenneth, I should tell you, I don't, because I know you weren't able to stay for stream last week. I had a really lovely boba that arrived not long after. I think you had to drop off, and it was like, I think it was like an apple blossom jasmine tea with crystal boba. It was so good. It was very lovely, and I enjoyed it greatly. It was really, really good. In summary, you should be happy to know my next Friday game will not be spoopy. So there'll be no jump scares. Yeah. It's part of like the seasonal offerings from Chat Time, which I think Chat Time is fairly international. Like, I'm assuming they've got locations in the States. Oh, it's the Iceland band. Better. Also tonight, I mentioned it before because my thumb is still yellow, but I had Grim made a really nice curry. It's a paneer curry, which one instantly wins because paneer and I love it. But I think he did a really good job with the spicing, and I like people to know that. Did you bang pause? I'm getting no sleep. I mean, yeah, that's usually, yeah, that's the thing is you want them to not associate what their behavior with any kind of like safety. That is a smart thing to do. Be big and noisy. Bedroom so no. Oh yeah, yeah. That might do the. That should hopefully have been enough to do the job. I'm trying to decide. It's not an immediate concern, but I do like to do like. I don't know if I'll do a full wash, but I do want to do some like recess colors. It might be like a very strategic wash, and I'm trying to decide if I want to do a Nuln Oil, if I want to go in a red or like Seraphim Sepia direction. And I think Nuln Oil is a black shade, and I feel like that's going to darken it too much, and I don't want that. I want this boy to be a little bit brighter. I'm not looking for grim dark with this boy. Also, I think I've already kind of like thought about my next project, and I think what I want to do is I got really inspired by that Instagram channel that I shared on Discord where they do Space Marines, but they do them in lovely pastels, and I kind of want to take a Sister of Battle and pastel it up. I think it'd be nice. The Care Bears of Sisters of Battle. Yeah. Yes. Yeah, I've shared the Pastel Marines, yeah. So I kind of want to try something like that myself. I think it'd be fun. Especially because like I feel like the palettes that I tend to stick with a lot of darker colors, and it feels safer sometimes. And it can be because it's easier to get good coverage with usually darker pigments and things like that, right? But I want to try something a little different. And since I'm not really like I'm just painting for me, right? Like I'm not painting to field. I don't need a cohesive unit to field or anything like that. So it's like, oh, just paint whatever I want. Maybe I'll go find a Tyranid and then I'll make him pastel. Maybe I'll go find a Necron and make him pastel. Do you have room for some sisters? I have a couple like single units. I've showed it before, but I'll grab it again quickly. It's like a standalone one. Well, I've got two technically. So I've got a War Games exclusive proxy of Sister Celestine, I think her name is from Warhammer. And then I've also got her. See, like imagine this with pastels. Imagine a beautiful neon pink skeleton. Peach's sister. I mean, that could also be something. I don't know. I don't have a lot of sisters. But yeah, like I've got kind of like the standalone unit. But see, imagine that with a pretty pastel. Yeah. Yeah, I could get, because that's the thing is I also seen is that a lot of the pastel ones, like they will go like get like the stuff that the little jewels that you get for like bedazzling nails. And like imagine if this skull was bedazzled. Wouldn't that be precious? Right? Right. So yeah, 100%. That's kind of where I'm leaning with what I want to do with this model, which I'm sure would probably greatly offend some lore purists, but I don't care. We'll get you more sisters to do it. Well, it would also be kind of cool to do like find like because I know a few times 100% fun to just let me know. Well, I find Throne isn't good for Warhammer. I'll be honest. I've a couple times like I've looked on there and it's not been great. For listing. Apparently, I guess Games Workshop hasn't discovered the untapped potential of VTubers painting their models on stream, which is fine. They don't have to. They can be wrong. But regardless, I do feel I've got, unfortunately, like a trip to Michael's or like a craft store at some point in my future to go buy a stupid amount of jewels to stick on minis. Because also that would be kind of cool with this guy. Because I was now just thinking about it, like on the base of this guy, like I initially was aiming for like a tabletop, like a cloth table top with the base, but adding like some like little like like a little maybe a treasure box with some like little jewels and stuff coming out. That'd be nice too. Yes. Yeah, there are a lot of streamers who do 40K painting. I don't know if there's a lot of not YouTubers, VTubers who do painting streams. Like there probably is. I know what was Brother Tobias? He does painting streams, though I think he hasn't been active lately. Probably a busy boy. And that's okay. The unfortunate thing I do find, and that's kind of part of the reason why I started doing hobby streams, is I find when I get busy, when I let myself like if I'm getting stressed from work or whatever, I find engagement in my hobbies is the first thing to go, and I find streaming kind of forces me to do it, like quote unquote, it makes it a bit like work, but it's work I enjoy. Like I'm enjoying this. I'm having fun. And I'm getting to talk with everybody. So I find this is one, it kind of keeps me accountable, but also like it keeps me on the hobby horse, as it were. Yeah, Rip Joe. Yeah, like in this case, I would be going to Michael's for this type of supply stuff. Though, like I do wonder sometimes I should go find like a good like so many things that I've seen like recommended for like miniature painting or like miniature accessories are like go find a good like nail art shop, right? Because they if you need like things for like resin curing, nail shop got that. If you need stuff for like little jewels or little detail doobly doos, go to a place that does manicures. Like it's kind of funny how because it operates at such a small scale that the overlap exists. Like I saw one I think it was Midwinter Minis. He did a painting stream of Tyranids and he did their plating. He used actually a nail polish paint that does that, creates that crackle effect when it dries. To kind of get like tortoiseshell patterny thing on their like armor plates. It turned out really nice. Also very sparkly. Yeah. Yes. Again, like it's kind of interesting, like how much bleed over there is on that stuff. But then again, I guess that's kind of, I think any kind of creative hobby has a lot of bleed. Anyway. this one spot here. Yeah, yeah. And yeah, there's like I've also heard the same thing about like if you're doing like working with like plasters and things like that, like again, like nail shaping tools, get those. They're really good. Especially if you're working on a small scale. So it is 100%. This like the secret side market of like the mani pedi market is like you got the people who are actually doing like the nail art or whatever, arting the tools, and then you've got like the hobbyists like us being like, I just need this for something. No, I don't do nails. What? Oh no. Oh no, Knox. I hope the side effects isn't too bad for that. Also, you're not an idiot. You have done an oopsie, but that has not inherently changed your intelligence level. Sorry, my hand is blocking my painting. I'm already messing. Oh no. Oh no. You're not sleeping tonight. Yeah, see, Ish is here. You can't call there is no self-deprecation allowed while Ish is here. It shall not happen. You gotta say nice. I gotta say something nice about yourself, Knox. Mostly because you're gonna be awake for the next 6 to 10 hours, so you have time to think about something nice to say about yourself. Yeah. This is when it's like, you know what, if you have any baking, if you have any tasks that you've been putting off, now might be the time. I might still sleep. Okay, all right. So you're gonna see which one wins. Ooh, it's a contest. Fight, fight, fight. Who will win? The sleepy meds or well, one thing was sure, don't you dare drive a car. Yep, it's just demanding time for you to compliment yourself. I have found that when I've been on drugs, either to sleep or whatever reason, like, and I dream, I get the weirdest dreams. Like that. This is like you get like the ones where you're just like, oh wow, what in Cthulhu did I just draft up in my brain? Okay. I'm still not quite sure what I want to do with his face, so I will leave it for the time being. I'm also still not sure what to do with this gun barrel. Do I want to paint it red? I do not know. Cannot say black. That is all I know. Okay. All right, what do I want? Oh yeah, I wanted to do something on the feetses. All right. These whoops. My son. My base for my son until I get a proper plinth. Boop. Yep. Yep. It's just here. He will not abide the being mean to yourself. My dishes are all clean, but why did the freezer? Oh no. Oh no. Lucid dreaming I find is so weird. Like it's a very surreal, weird thing because it's like again, like you're sleeping, so you start like having like a conscious effect on things, but uh-oh. Well, someone will have to tell me what that link is, or I'll have to see it later because I usually try not to click links while I'm in the middle of the stream. Okay, I want to paint the feet a little bit. Here, we gotta move these. Get in the way. Bye bye. Sleep meds. Oh no. Oh no. I am thankful that I haven't really required any meds like that, but thankfully I haven't done any too like terrible mixes. Like I have one medication that absolutely must be taken with food, and the worst I've done is take it without food and then not like because I meant to eat but forgot. And then unfortunately the reason why you take the medication with food is that it gives you wicked tummy aches if you don't. So mostly it was just like, uh-oh, gotta eat. Drop everything, go eat something. Oh yeah, Ish, I don't know if you know. The Goose Queen, aka Lenith, is going to be in town come October. Don't know if Sasha passed that along yet or not. Yeah. I will say the reason, like, well, you know, happy to see Lenith. The reason, the reason seems a little silly, but it's also not technically Lenith's reason. She's doing a solid, but I should probably stop talking before I like sign my death warrant or something. Okay, that's not too bad. I like that. It's gonna need another coat to dull out the metallic, but that's okay. You're fine. Oop. No, no, Ish. You're not allowed to die. Mm, I kind of love nail polish. Are you thinking of, Lena? And also, what brand? Because that's something I've learned very quickly. Brand matters. Like it used to be like, oh, whatever, get what's cheapest. No, it matters with nail polish. Unfortunately, you buy the cheap shit, it's gone in like 5 fucking minutes. Or it turns your nails a weird color, and then you're like, uh-oh, do I have to seek medical attention? Double rhythm. Oh, okay. I'll be honest, my usual like budget go-to is Sally Hansen. Like usually as long as you don't go for like the absolute cheapest shit, it's usually fine. And I find at least like their base coats are quite good. Like the undercoat, not the actual like pigment. But I also use a lot of like I think it's called OPI. Oh, the magnetic. Ooh. Oh, those are fun. Those are fun. I've always wanted to try doing that at home, but it's always like it's so expensive to get the starter kit. It's like I've done it like once or twice when I've gone to like get a manicure done, and I love it. Fun. It makes my fingies look like galaxies. Mm. Yeah. And then you cure. Yeah, it's cool. I love it. I love that stuff. So just so for like that kind of like nail polish, you have to get like usually kind of like you have to get like usually a base coat that is non-reactive. Then you need what will be the reactive layer, like the one that will respond to the magnet. Then you need the magnet. And there's like different shapes the magnet can come in depending on how you want to like shape the pattern on your nails. And there's also like how you angle the magnet, and there's a bunch of determining factors. So, like technique is part of it. And then you need the resin lamp to cure it. And then usually you need some sort of like top coat to kind of like seal it all in and keep it well protected. It's a lot. These are chips. Oh, took one coat? Okay, cool. Like ultimately it depends on the color you get, because like some colors benefit from an undercoat of white or black to kind of like layer well, I guess. I don't know. Kind of like it's like painting a mini. Sometimes sometimes you need that undercoat. You need the primer coat or whatever you want to call it. Yes, also that too. Like, I mean, I don't know of any really Canadian makers of nail polish, unfortunately. So, like, anywhere I'd go would be from the States, and that would be tariffs. Tariffs. So do it once the eye cap is okay. Lighter shade of blue. Okay. That's cool. That sounds really neat. Oops. Again. I'm painting, but not on camera. Oops. Sorry, camera. Didn't mean to hit you with the paintbrush. You were in the way. Your fault. Yeah, it is neat. I remember like watching the few times I've had it done, I paid someone to do it. So like I got to kind of like watch them at work, and it was neat. It's like you paint it on, and you're like, oh, this is nothing. This is whatever. And then they take the magnet and you're like, oh, what is this sorcery? There is also a part of me, like the little dumb part of me, that wants to like, if I ever got one of those kits, to take the magnet to the actual like jar of thing itself and just make it swirl around like a lava lamp. That's mostly because I have the brain of a 5-year-old sometimes. Whoop. Already assessed. Nice. I mean, there's worse things to be obsessed with, honestly. Yeah, it would. I mean, like, let's be clear that the burr machine is it's meant for actually it's actually meant for test tubes. The divot in there is meant for you to put a test tube in. So it's actually meant for science. I have repurposed it to mix my paints. So, but yeah, basically anything that has like requires mixing would benefit from that thing if it fits on it. I'll bring it over in a second. Here, I'll put the boy down. But let me bring it over, like, because it's got like a divot in here, and this is supposed to be where a test tube goes. It is this brand. See, it even has a test tube on it. They're like, this is what it's for. And I'm like, it mixes paints now. It's lapfish. It's for science. I have repurposed it for my hobbies. I'm not the first person to do it. A lot of hobbyists do it. I got the idea from someone else. Oh, yeah. That's cool. Hula booba nails out of carrots and other people made. Oh, wow. Oh. Oh, cool. There's a few models of it. I know this one's like a USB type model, or like it has like an adapter to plug into a wall. But sorry, that was my can. Sorry. My desk is a little cluttered. Okay. Back to painting. Yeah, again, it can do a lot of like mixing. Always like some scientists out there going like, "What are you doing?" And then there's me going, "Tee hee, go bear." Yeah. Yeah, and then there's also so the one I got didn't come with stainless steel mixing balls. No, actually, no, it did. I do have a set of mixing balls. I usually just don't like these type of dropper bottles. You can't really get the mixing balls into them well, but I have a couple like this one where the Citadel paints where they can separate quite easily. I have thrown a mixer ball in there, which helps it with the burr. Science. It always kind of like astounds me like how much like science like this kind of comes up when it comes to like hobbying. My little bits of chemistry and biology and physics over the years. I mean, heck, there was for years until like I'd be like preparing dinner or whatever, and I'd be like, "Oh no, I have to cut onions," and I would go put on my science goggles so I wouldn't cry. Because like there you go, that's what they're there for. That's how they keep you safe. Peace. Yeah, you could probably also like if you wanted to do like you can get like empty eyedropper bottles or things like that if you wanted to do like either your own paint mixing or other little chemical batches. Yeah. Yeah, I had that too where sometimes it just is like just go to a science store. You'll get your shit there. You'll get your hot crappy set up there. There we go. Okay. Oh, it's annoying. I can see there's some spots where my brush can't reach, where I couldn't get the gray sear down. I might need to find like maybe a smaller brush at some point and try and get in those spots because it's gonna bother me that I can see it, but I haven't put paint there. But one thing at a time. We're painting toesies. What? I have no idea what you're talking about, Tater. I had a moment where I'm like, what song is this again? There we go. Now I recognize it. Oops. I missed the spot. Oh, the magnet I paused. Oh, okay. Honestly, oh. You didn't realize it was the original version of the song. Whoops. Sorry. There is Miku in here, but I don't have a lot of Miku. Not because I have a problem with Miku, just not something I tend to seek out on my Spotify, that's all. Sorry, it's not Miku singing it. Shut up. You have a lovely singing voice, Lenneth. No one would shoot you for singing. Okay, maybe some asshole would, but the assholes aren't here. Oh, thank you very much for the follow. Welcome to the Dungeon Lounge. Careful pants. Why do you need to be careful about your pants? Are you going to spill something on them? But also, hello, how are you? I hope you are doing well. I had a weird thought not too long ago, and it had to do, funnily enough. So I was like, why am I so primed? Like, even before like Dark Souls or whatever, like if I hear choir, if I hear organs, there's a boss coming. And then I started like thinking back to like how much ELO and stuff like that I listened to, and I'm like, oh. Nope, it's a long story. And hello, everyone. Oh, thank you. Well, welcome on in. My name is Elizabeth. I am a Banshee. There are 3 other friends on this channel. They stream on different days. There is Sasha the Griffin, Laura the Dragon, whose day I have stolen because she had to go away for a little, I wouldn't call it vacation, but she has to go help her sister babysit. And we got, Sasha the Griffin and also Grim the Lion. Grim will actually be streaming tomorrow. He's going to play Pokemon Black. And he's going to do a Nuzlocke because apparently he just wants to make a hard game harder on himself. I've heard Pokemon Black is one of the hardest games to Nuzlocke. So please come by it. Give Grim your support. And maybe get a Pokemon named after you. Whatever you want. You're chatting in Lantern. Yes. If you hear chanting, there might be a boss coming and you should leave. Or stay, maybe. I don't know. I generally don't want to stay to fight bosses, so I leave. It's even worse if you realize the music is diegetic to what's happening. That means you're extra fucked. Tozy. Nah. There's also, like, I know, like, Final Fantasy X, I don't think it was Latin, but, like, the Hymn of the Faith often played when you were just in anything that was, like, religiously leaning, like, hey, you're gonna go get a new summon. Here's the summon place. Ominous chanting time. The signifiers of a boss battle are like, gotta be careful because like sometimes they'll use it as like a tension builder, right? The ominous Latin chanting. But if a boss track doesn't start with Latin chanting, especially in the late game, that means you have not encountered the final phase, and more phases are coming, and you must prepare. and he must conserve. Process I look for to finish account. Oh, oof. I wouldn't know offhand of like anything to suggest. I mean, the next thing I would probably look at personally to invest is like different types of rolling pins. Mostly because if I want to do more work with like clay or green stuff, I definitely need rolling pins. Especially like maybe like a textured one, because that'd be kind of cool. Like if you get like a textured rolling pin with like a brick pattern or whatever, get like a little quickie cheat. Oh, there you go. Well, hmm. Aluminum foil. Oh yeah, that could create a fun texture. Depends on what you're going for, but yeah, that'd be cool. If you're looking for kind of like a nice like cracked earth appearance, yeah, that would do the job nicely. Yeah. Yeah, I've seen a lot of like if you're doing like, fancy mountain terrain or whatever, like you kind of like start with like a little bit of like a tinfoil base and then like work whatever plaster or whatever on top of that. That is one thing I would say like I'm kind of interested in doing, but I know I don't have the space for it. Is like I would be 100% interested in doing like little bits of like mini terrain, like like a fun like maybe like little house or a tavern or something, but it's just like don't have space. I have nowhere to put it when it's not in use. There we go. Not bad. That. All right. 2 foot 2. But maybe you do. Maybe you do need more filament. How do you know you don't need it? Every time I pick up my drink, the coaster comes with me. Oh, here, also a positive affirmation for the day. Feeling worried doesn't mean anything bad is going to happen. You're going to get through this fine. You always find a way. My coaster gives me a nice little reminder to not be mean to myself. And also, maybe don't be stressed. Oops. No. Okay. Leave token, I see you have infiltrated my playlist this evening. Hello, Cavalcadence. How are you this fine Wednesday? Mm, that sounds like a lot of filament. Time is it? Oh, it's 9:30. Wow. Hello, hello. I'll be honest, my brain a couple times, like when people come in, like it's like Happy Wednesday, and it's like no Tuesday, or I, you know what I mean? I keep saying the wrong day because my brain is like all like week is off because I had a holiday on Monday. My sense of time is based around having 5 days a week of workies. Too large. Oh, wow. And it sounds like you were very blessed with a lot of storage space. Ator. Just back right time. At a certain point, all the tight packing ain't gonna do enough. That guitar sounds a bit like a laser. Or like a car going really fast down a highway. I have to say, I've been getting a few songs that I consider like, I don't know if you have the idea of like, or if like good driving songs, you know what I mean? Where like a song that, you know, you can just kind of crank. And, you know, if you're going to be driving, especially like for like a few hours, like maybe down a freeway or something, like you're just kind of doing like, I don't want to call it mindless driving, but like you're not doing complicated like turns or maneuvers. You're just kind of going from like point A to point B. And it's just like a very straight, well-traveled road. And I feel like I've been getting a lot of those songs tonight on my playlist, like the good driving songs. Meditative driving, yeah, maybe. Or like, yeah, like there's definitely like songs like that, like where it's just like, yeah, like it's just kind of like a good vibe song to have on while you're driving. But like, there's also like sometimes the ones where it's just like, also just like good songs that are good to just like crank loud, you know, like you know, if you've got passengers, they're sleeping or they're resting, and they're just, you know, it's just kind of like you and the road. Oftentimes they tend to be, I find for me, they tend to be instrumental tracks because like if they got a lot of singing in them, then I'm gonna want to sing badly. And it's not very like meditative, I guess would maybe be like the word, but like in the zone. Mm, like the kind of like music that feels like, you know, when you're driving down like a freeway, the lights are flashing in tune. Like when you pass over like the different like um road lights. Like it definitely needs to be night. 100% night. Maybe rain, maybe not. Not too much rain. You know, like again, you don't want to have to make it so like it's again unsafe driving conditions because then you're not able to kind of zone out. Like this one, like the beat, you know, is kind of like na 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 na. Yeah. Ultimately, the moral is find a song that's good to drive to. If there's a moral to be found in any of this. I have to say though, like one thing I am 100% guilty of is songs that I find have like a good vibe, but doesn't like I don't pay attention to the lyrics at all. And it's like I'll have like people who are like, "Why are you listening to this song? It's so depressing. They're talking about death," and I'm like, "But I like the beat, and it goes boom, 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 boom." And they're talking about death, and I'm like, "Oh, oops." Also, thank you very much for the follow, Garvale. Welcome on into the Dungeon Lounge. I hope you're having a lovely Wednesday or Thursday, depending on if you live in the future. If you live in the future, please tell me. Also, please tell me if I pronounce your name wrong. I can't see. I just realized I angled it badly. Fortunately, I only live in the present. Aw. Well, I mean, like, you might live in the future for me. Because, like, here, what I mean is, like, it is currently 9:37 where I am. If you are at a place where it is 10:37, you live in the future for me. Let me just put this down for a second. Need a little drinky. Also, I know no one's redeemed it, but I'm stretching my back. I have been hunched for at least an hour and a half. Oof. You're the I'm in the future. Oh wow, that doesn't usually happen. I'm usually not the one in the future. Well, from the future, I have absolutely nothing to report. Nothing cool happened, which is annoying. I wish I could have reported that there was like robots or a unicorn, but oh yeah, I forgot. Yeah, I forgot. Sorry, you're right. I forgot, Tater. You're an hour behind. That man said a swear. Might need some more red soon. I'm rushed. I'm running low. It's a Chaos Knight. No, it's a standard Imperial Knight. Let me grab his face. It is. This is my son. There we go. He is a standard Imperial Knight. He has a chainsword arm. And I know this is supposed to be like a laser, but I've decided this is a water hose because this Imperial Knight fights fires. He doesn't go on the battlefield because I don't have the emotional fortitude for him to be hurt. So he fights fires with the chainsaw to deal with the underbrush and a hose. Yeah. Ooh, Canis Rex. Cool. Cool, cool, cool. I do. I know. I remember there was a bit of an uproar when the Chaos Knights came out, and they were like, "Oh, I don't like the legs," but I was like, I'm fine with the legs. I mean, they're probably a bitch to put together, so I won't argue that point. But I like the little like they kind of gave them like I forget the name, but it's like the leg bends like backwards instead of like a forward bending normal leg. Well, normal for humans, but like like with a horse's back legs where they bend backwards. I forget the term. There's a word for it, and my brain is like not telling me what it is. I have like I read something. Just sorry, the song kind of like reminded me of something, and someone posted about like it is astounding to me to think in about 4 months' time it is going to be 2026. There are still days I wake up and I think we're back in 2020 again. Like the feeling of time passing has been surreal. And it's just like, what? We're going in 2026. It has been 6 years since 2020. Like, what? What? I'm not ready. I am not ready. People do like them playing when it comes to James. Yeah, I mean, Games Workshop has had a lot of sins, don't get me wrong, but some of their model design is not what I'm good. Like, I'm generally like their model design's pretty good. I for the most part, I like their design work. Or at the very least, I realize if I don't like it, I realize it's not for me. Like, for the most part, I don't care for Necron. Necron's not for me. Oh, yes. Those, yes, please. Hello, Greyhawk Ravenous. By all means, I would love to go back to the 2020 and pay those gas prices. I would love to go back to 2020 and pay like those bread prices. Please. Please and thank you. But also, hello, happy Wednesday. I hope you're having a good day. Or Thursday if you are living slightly in the future. Alrighty. Yeah. As a Black Library enthusiast, yes. That is something I 100% agree. I wish Games Workshop would do more about. And honestly, I do not. Honestly, I just don't play the game. Thankfully, the hobby shops in my area, if there is a model I absolutely want to get, they've usually been able to get it. So I don't try and like do like the camping to get day one release stuff. It's just too much stress. Ooh, day off work. Nice. I had to work today and I have to work tomorrow. Yes. I have to say, like, you know, aside from like a lot of stuff happening in the world, like, I'll be honest, the requirement not to go outside, like everyone's like, no, I'm missing things. And I'm like, stay inside, play more video games. Oh no. I have to stay inside and play video games with people online. Now, I will say the biggest thing that frustrated me about the social distancing and the rules is, and if Ishmael's here, he'll probably agree, is on Thursdays, we had a weekly kind of like, for sake of ease of like shorthand, a weekly D&D group. And we moved online during the pandemic to accommodate like every, you know, social distancing and everything. But like there is something to be said about having an in-person D&D game. It is a different experience, and it is a lot of fun. And you know, because it's like, especially like I find like the dice rolls, like the in-person dice rolls, there's a fun aspect to it. Also, yes, in person is snacks. Well, you can have snacks while you're you can share the snacks when you're in person. So yeah, my preference for tabletop is 100% in person, but like I also recognize, especially like with the current groups that I'm playing with, it's not possible because like the Thursday group right now is now fully on Discord because we have people that are no longer like local to each other, so that's just how it goes. And I also play in a cyberpunk game that's currently on hiatus, but that cyberpunk game, we have one player. There's 2 players in Canada. Sorry, 3 players in Canada. 1 player in the UK and 1 player in Poland. So it's like an in-person meeting, which would be awesome, is not really. It's not really doable. You know what I mean? Not without getting planes involved or boats that are also planes. Digital dice rolls don't hit the same way. Like because there's that moment where like I find like when you roll the dice and there's that pause while you're figuring out what's happened, especially if it's a game that doesn't involve one dice at a time. So like say for instance, the thing that immediately comes to my mind is World of Darkness, where usually you're rolling multiple dice, so you usually need a minute to like quickly figure out which dices were success and which were failures. Or like another one I can think of on top of my head is like Legend of the Five Rings, where you have to do like a little bit of math to like add up the dices that you're rolling and keeping. So like that little pause where you're waiting, like, did you do it? Like, you know, it's a clutch moment. If you don't make this roll, the enemy is going to get to attack again, and they're probably going to kill a party member or whatever. Like that kind of clutch pause moment. There's a deliciousness to the tension, but also it's terrible. Yes. 100%. Yeah. Like when you mentioned like, yeah, John's Duel. Yeah. That would have hit 100% differently if it had been over Discord, which again, like I am grateful to the online options because, you know, having something is better than nothing. But, I still ultimately prefer the in-person experience when it's possible. When it's doable, I 100% recommend. Why my playlist get political? Maybe it's because you picked political music, Elizabeth. Yeah, because there's 100% like there's people I wouldn't have met if I had stuck strictly to what is in my area. So I'm like, it's hard to complain. It's in the end, it's just different experiences, right? But I think it does say something like say for instance, like online things like Critical Role still stick to like in-person roles and haven't switched to a dice roller. And I do 100% believe it's down to that tension. Because I mean, like ultimately, like at the end of the day, it's storytelling. It's what's it called? It's drama. I'm able to keep my face straight. Yeah. Yeah, the last time you went and played, in person though, yeah. Yeah, because you were playing a naughty character. You were playing a mole. That was very naughty, Ishmael, that you had us all fooled. Naughty. Will we explain? Okay. So Legend of the Five Rings has ultimately it's a weeaboo game, let's be clear. No Asian person has come anywhere near the development of that game. But anyways, so it's a game about samurais and samurai families and all that stuff. And you've got the samurais are all broken up into different clans and families that are good at different things. So you've got like, you know, the Phoenix clan that's good at being magic samurai. And you've got the Scorpion clan that's good at being sneaky samurai. And then you've got like the Lion that are like, we are the super honorable samurai. And then you've got the Crane that are like, we like to paint. And I might make fun of them if we keep talking. Anyways, so in the setting and in the current timeline, semi-current timeline of Legend of the Five Rings, in addition to, you know, all the clans that work for, you know, on the side of good, there's also a naughty clan called the Spider Clan, and they work for the Shadowlands, and they're bad. Anyways, so Ishmael played a character from the Spider Clan, but he pretended he wasn't from the Spider Clan. He pretended he was a Ronin. And he had everybody fooled. And he was doing naughty things while the rest of the party was trying to be helpful. Yeah, basically. I mean, let's be clear that like L5R is basically throw a bunch of Asian tropes into the blender and mix. I say this with all the love in the world. I love L5R, but I do 100% recognize that it is a product of its time. I guess we'll put it that way. Well, that is probably being as nice as possible. As I said, like ultimately in the end, it is a game that was developed by a bunch of white guys in the 90s, 2000s. I don't remember the exact time. It originally started as a card game and then became a tabletop. And my familiarity is with the tabletop. I don't play card games. Card games are for nerds. says the nerd as she is painting an Imperial Knight. The 80s? Oh man, it's even older than that. Like, I will say the thing that I found interesting about the L5R card game was that it used to be that, like, you know, say for instance, if you have a Magic the Gathering tournament, the tournament happens, you have a winner, the next day goes on. The big thing with the card game is that at the end of the tournament, you'd have, like, you know, maybe it was the Crane clan versus the Crab clan. Whoever the winner was would change the course of the ongoing stories that they would put out about what was happening in the timeline. So, like, if the Crane won, they'd be like, oh, the Crane fought a mighty duel against the Crab and they won. And, you know, the Emperor bestowed upon the Crane this great gift and blah, 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 blah. So there was like the idea that there was an incentive for players, even if their clan wasn't the strongest in deck in the meta. Yeah, and also how you won mattered. So if you won dishonorably, they would work in the dishonor part into the narrative of how you won. So you'd have instances where people would avoid, like, say, for instance, Shadowlands or the evil decks because they didn't want them winning. They didn't want the bad guys to win, right? L5R was made in 1995. I am a centuries old banshee, so I have existed in all time periods, except the ones that I don't remember or that I think are stupid. But yeah, 100%. The card game is just the problematic stuff in the tabletop RPG came from the same source as the what's it called, as the card game. Though there was just some really dumb stuff. So, like, here's an example of some of the dumbness, and definitely evidence of developed by white guys. There was a clan called the Unicorn, and one of the big unicorn shtick is that everyone in the family liked to ride horses, which is fine. There was a family within the Unicorn called the Otaku. You did not mishear me. I did say otaku, and it was supposed to be an entirely women-centered family, battle maidens who rode horses and their horses into battle, which is fine. But it wasn't until the game had been out for a few years before someone sat them down and said, otaku is slang. It means, like, anime nerd. You are aware of this when you named the battle maiden family this. And they're like, oh. And anyways, they quietly had a name change. Because again, they didn't realize that they just looked up what otaku meant in its, like, traditional, like, not slang sense. But yeah, there was a guy who's world championship with a guy who won by bribing his opponent. Oh, cool. Oh, and thank you very much for the follow, Greyhawk Ravenous. Thank you. Anyways, Scorpion is the best clan, and I won't be taking further questions on that. And Crane are kind of poopy. Because they're prissy little bitches. Anyway, sorry. What were we talking about? You have your opinion and you're allowed to be wrong. Oh no, not Scorpion. Fair enough. Maybe I'll go do a tour on the wall and then I'll teleport away. But yeah. My last Scorpion, the same game where Ishmael was a naughty spider clan, was a Scorpion named Bayushi Nisei, though she was a Soshiro infiltrator. So she was a fun ninja, and it was fun. And our campaign started, as all L5R campaign starts, with the Topaz Championship. Tee-hee. I feel like that's the equivalent of, like, you know, like a D&D campaign starting with, like, everyone in, whoops, oh well. Urokami really did like her. Oh no. I kind of had when so funnily enough, for the L5R game, Flora, another member of the Dungeon Lounge, she was the DM. when she dropped that your character had been Spider Clan, I was like 100% being like, if that had come up in game, 100% like the character that so those who are familiar with the Scorpion can take a flaw that means that they are cursed. And the curse is called the Yogo curse. And we're going to the deep lore of L5R here. And the Yogo curse means that characters are ultimately fated to betray someone they love. And it doesn't necessarily mean like romantic connection. It can mean a good friend. Like the person who started the curse, he betrayed his lord, which was when he met his criteria. Yes, the unicorn loved the horses. So it was more or less a case that the curse would have 100%. I was like, this probably would have triggered around Okami, like either her killing him because it'd be a betrayal to Okami to kill him, or alternatively, if she was unable to kill him for whatever reason, the betrayal would be then to the party, which she also held in high regard by that point. So it was one of those things where it's like, yeah, more hollering, woo, more ah. It was one of those things where like I feel like when that information if it ever got dropped like in game, like she would have been stuck between a rock and a hard place, and it would have triggered the curse hard. So I was like, oh man, that would have been good. That would have been gold. But anyways, it didn't work out. All right. You got distracted. That's okay. So in this song specifically, one time I was driving and the song was on, and I was driving past like one of those like used car lots that has the inflatable tube men. And guess what was floating in the wind during that? And like that part, I'm like, look over to see inflatable tube man flailing in the wind. And now every time I hear that like long note in this song, I think of an inflatable tube man. You're planning to, oh no. Oh no. No, don't tell me that, Ish. Don't break my heart. Here's something for Tater that he will be secretly happy to know. So I've been in multiple L5R campaigns. Shocking, I know. The weeb. And one of the campaigns we did years and years ago was actually a campaign with basically like fan clans, like ones that we made up. And my character was from a clan called the Tanuki clan, which is, guess what? A raccoon. So I once played a raccoon in a tabletop RPG. The end. Flora did not play a member of the Tanuki clan, just so you're aware. Yeah. It was a fun little campaign. Because it was kind of like the idea of like an alternate timeline where like, you know, kind of like different gods founding each of the main clans. So you ended up with like different like animal motifs and all that stuff. It was fun. No way canonical. And then you make like a broken clan family of set of abilities, you know, all that. But yeah, like ultimately in the end, it's hard. Like I've had a lot of fun with L5R over the years, but it's hard to recommend the game. And also, I think it's technically gonna. I think it got bought out by Fantasy Flight. I think they went bankrupt or something. So the rights might be up in the wind at this point. So perhaps, maybe if you are rich, you could go buy the rights to L5R and then give them to me. Or don't. You don't have to. I'll be honest, though. I think it's 4th ed L5R. Is it going? Yeah, I mean, there's that inherent problem. I wouldn't say that they don't know how to RPG, but they got stuck on the idea of like custom dice sets needing to supplement all games. Yeah, AEG had it initially. Yeah, they bought it out, yeah, when they got Warhammer. And then I think recently Fantasy Flight's now going bankrupt. I could be wrong. I think we're going to add space soon, so maybe I should stop talking and just focus on painting. I think I need more red, though. This is red, yeah. Oh, God, I haven't thought about Anima Beyond in a hot minute. That art used to be everywhere. Never played it. I just remember seeing the art everywhere. Yeah, I didn't include the rules to build the character. Yeah, it's funny, like, for all my tabletop experience, like, I have very little nostalgia for D&D itself. Like, most of my nostalgia is in not Warhammer, in World of Darkness, L5R, and Besem, Big Eye Small Mouth. It's called Capitalism, Teacup. They put the rules in another book. Games Workshop is very familiar with that, where there'll be like a core book of main rules, and then you have to buy additional book for each faction in Warhammer. So like you get the core book with the main rules, but then you have to get the Tau book or the Imperial Knight book or the Scutari book, so on and so forth. It's called Capitalism, and it's stupid. Oh, damn. I was also frustrated. Like, I remember, I don't know if anyone's ever here read the Dragon Age tabletop rules. They were published by Green Ronin between Dragon Age 1 and 2. They just forgot. Oh, God. It's even worse. But so Dragon Age, the first book had levels, I think, 1 to 3. And then you had to get another book for levels 4 to 6. And then, like, I think one more book for levels above that. And what was really frustrating is, if anyone's familiar with like Dragon Age, at a certain point, there's 3 main classes: mage, fighter, and a rogue, or like a finesse fighter, for lack of a better term. And when you got to level 4, you could pick your specialization. So, like for rogue, you could pick a bard or a ranger, or like a warrior could be a champion, or a you know where I'm going here. And the frustrating thing is, because you didn't know what the prerequisites were, because they didn't start until level 4 and it was a completely separate book, you could lock yourself out of specializations by not meeting the prerequisites because you didn't know them from the first book. So it was kind of frustrating, where it was like say for instance, like with the 2 rogue specializations, one was bard and one was ranger. So one assumed ranged, and then one was assuming like a social character. But what if you just wanted to be backstabby? You might have locked yourself out of a specialization, and you wouldn't have known it, because the other book, like the books came like several months apart from each other. So it was like, damn. I mean, the core book. Oh, okay. There you go. That would be better, but I don't think current Warhammer does that, unfortunately. Especially with all this fucking stratagems and shit like that. I will say, at a certain point, my ability to talk about the rules of Warhammer will fade. I don't generally play the tabletop. My experience with Warhammer tabletop is Dark Heresy. So, teehee. I generally don't like playing the actual tabletop game with I like painting the models, but I don't like actually playing the game with them. I just like to paint them. Ugh. I mean, I am appreciative, at least, of like some of the digitization of like the books, at least, because like it feels like, at least if that way there's like errata and stuff like that, you're not necessarily going, oh crap, I have to buy a book, or I have to like get like this whole extra printout to come with the book, because they changed the rules because they realized something was broken. But does the meaning is the subscription to books go out of date? Oh no. And I'm a friend with a character that could. Oh, jeez. Damn. Someone didn't play test their game, it sounds like. Because I feel like a lot of this stuff, like, the thing that I've learned, like, a lot of times, like, with, like, QA testing of any kind, either for video games or, like, testing for, like, tabletop games, is, like, if something got missed, it's either because you didn't test or, alternatively, and here's the shittier part, they caught it. A tester caught it, and they warned. And they decided to go to print anyways. They were like, it's fine. And that's the one that sucks even more, when it's like, it was caught. It was known this was going to be a problem, and they decided to do it anyways. I know, like, say, for instance, like, a lot of times with Magic, it's a scope issue now. There's just too many cards. You can't test everything. So, yeah, you do the best with what you can and wait for the card people to figure out what you didn't catch. I feel like it'd be very stressful to work at a company like that, like, and just be like waiting for people to find the broken camp combinations that it's like, I know I didn't find it. I know what didn't I find? And you're just like waiting for the pin to drop. You're waiting for the broken deck to show up at a tournament and going, damn it. Why didn't I check the interaction with Black Lotus? I know Black Lotus is a very rare card. Also notes about Asmodee bought out Fantasy Flight. Asmodee was bought by a company called, oh no, not Embracer. Isn't Embracer, like, didn't they just like sell off a whole bunch of IPs because they were like, oh, this wasn't immediately profitable. Tee-hee. So I think for a little while, like, Legacy of Kain ended up with Embracer, though I think it's since moved on, thankfully. Raziel, my beloved. What have they done to you? Maybe that's a game I should play on stream at some point. I got the HD remasters, and I know I played Soul Reaver 1 on stream. I should probably play Soul Reaver 2, even though it's probably going to piss me off. Because the controls are poop. Well, not the controls, the combat's just not good. And unfortunately, I will say, after, like, even though I'm not good at, like, Elden Ring and Bloodborne and those types of games, like, I do notice now when combat is not tight as a result, because it's like, I know I have a skill issue with those games. Like, my issue with Bloodborne and Elden Ring is 100% skill issue. And also swamps. Why do there always swamps? Cat hair, no. No. Get away, cat hair. Okay. All right, I think that's good for the feet. Okay. So you suffer? Yeah. I do a lot of suffering. I mean, to some degree, my understanding from talking to Flora, the part of the point of Souls game is to suffer. You're not supposed to be breezing through those games all fancy free. That is fair. And yeah, I will say what I've been doing for playing Elden Ring is I've been doing what's called the seamless co-op mod with Flora. So she 100% has carried me. And it's definitely saved me tons of frustration. Like, I remember the Radon fight. Like, I was not good at that fight. That man is awful, and I feel so bad for that poor horse. But 100%, like, she did most of the work on that, and I just had to, like, she unfortunately like her character died, and I just had to, like, do the little bit of, like, basically just staying alive so I could watch one of the summons take care of it. Yeah, I remember like that thing. I remember like seeing the art for Anima Beyond, and I was like, "Oh, this is like really interesting character art. Like, I'm really intrigued by it." But I remember like ultimately in the end, like not hearing good things about like actual Radon's horse. I mean, I know they're the bestest of friends, but he's too big for that horse, and I know he uses gravity magic to overcome that shortcoming. But I remain concerned. Oh, oh, you have them? Oh, I didn't realize that. Yeah, it's like RIP to like like you buy a rule book with like the intention of like running a game and then it just ends up not happening. So it just sits on your shelf being an interesting artifact of a time. Because like say for instance, like I got Besem, I think is it fourth edition, and it's like, oh, I'm gonna run something in this. I want to do, or finally, if I want to do a Trails of Cold Steel game, and like just using that set, using the rule set, and then just have been able to get my ducks in a row on that. Womp womp. No, what's this? Oh, it's paper towel. Okay. Oh, I gotta fix that one spot. Besem? Is that what you're talking about? Ish, I don't remember. Or rather, I gotta fix this tabard. Oh. I accidentally put paint on it that doesn't belong on it. And that's okay, but it can't stay. Yeah, Trilocal Steel game, yeah. It would have I think it would have been a lot of fun, but it would have been a lot of work to get it all together. Somewhere near to you screaming at me. Why don't you make a Trails game? That would I say that's a big challenge with Besem is like it would ultimately be like a custom modification on top of a game, so it'd be a lot of extra work, not just the usual work, the usual complicated work of DMing an RPG, a TTRPG. The other one I'm trying to get together is I recently picked up Candela Obscura, or no Candela, the one that Critical Role made that was supposed to be like kind of like focused around more like Eldritchy stuff. My concern is I may have misremembered the name because my brain just kind of defaults now to Claire Obscure, and I know that's not its name. I think it's like Candela. I think it is. Is it Candela? You know what? I'm going to double check this because now it's going to bother the hell of me. It is right. Okay. Oh, thank God. I'm not crazy. Also, we should play Claire Obscure if you haven't. It's a really good game. Very French though, which is both a compliment and an insult. With Pugmire, I've never played it. I mean, I know. Also, I don't know if your computer could handle Claire Obscure-ish. Like I've been playing on my PS5, so. Oh, you're running Pugmire? Oh, that's cool. One of the people of the Thursday group that I was talking about earlier, he owns Pugmire. I think he also owns Pugs as dogs. He has long been advocating to run a Pugmire game or a Redwall game, I believe. Oh, it's free on. Oh, cool. Oh, you got a new PC that could run it? Well, I mean, you could do worse than buying Claire Obscure. But I also understand if you don't have the money dollars for it, because that is 100% true. It is a thing. You have played Pugmire? Okay, fair enough. I haven't been able to play it. Oh, your rent. Oh, God, I'm so sorry, Ish. That is not fair to you. Ugh. Oh, it's fair enough. Fair enough. That is very understandable. Yeah. Okay. There we go. I think I did that repair. Okay. What section do I want to work on next? Oh yeah, I wanted to dry brush the. Okay. Yeah. Like, I will say, like, the groups I play with tend to be fine with that, tend to be fine with with politics. I mean, shock and surprise, one of the games I'm playing in right now is Cyberpunk, which is also like, congratulations. Like, it's hard to avoid politics in Cyberpunk when it's like literally baked in the haves and the have-nots, right? But and the same thing with like if you want to do Shadowrun. Ugh, fuck, I should play Shadowrun. Anyways, there are too many games in the world. Anyways, ooh, gotta focus on writing. Oh, well, thank you very much for stopping by, Garville. Or Vale. Sorry. So sorry. But yeah, thank you for coming by. Thank you for the follow and have a great rest of your night. Hope to see you at one of our other streams. All right, more dry brushing. How wet is this brush? Oh, it's still pretty damp. Only politics only has to do. I haven't heard a tune. That one's new for me. I find ultimately any game is just going to be like, if you really don't want politics, you don't have to have them. Like say for example, with Elfave, you don't want to have politics, run a Shadowlands campaign, right? It's doable, but it's hard. I think it's hard to remove the politics from any setting because it's kind of baked into the fabric of reality. It's hard not to have it. And people are like, oh no, it's apolitical. It's like, well, no, if you've got any sort of class system, if you've got any sort of like currency or whatever, politics is inescapable to some respect. This may not necessarily mimic the politics of reality, but they're still going to be there. Remember what I got to do is teeth. Oh, no. Yeah. Oh, Steve Jackson games? See, when you say Toon World, I'll be honest. I don't know if anyone here is going to understand the reference, but I think of that movie Cool World from the 90s, where Kim Basinger played a really, really sexy lady Toon. That's what I think of when I hear the word Toon World. Hee hee. Cool World. I've actually never seen the movie all the way through. My familiarity with Cool World, and this is going to be like stupid and dumb. There used to be a Super Nintendo game that I would rent a bunch to play, and that's how I knew of the game. That's how I knew of the plot. It's not like it is a movie that suffers from what I would say interesting ideas because like ultimately it was wanted to be in the style of like, you know, heavy metal animation or like what you kind of see from like anime and stuff nowadays. It was not intended for children. They wanted to make an animated film with live action elements for adults. Kind of skewing in with the similar idea to like Who Framed Roger Rabbit, but going even more adult than because like Who Framed Roger Rabbit danced near the line of adult. Cool World wanted to pass that line. And when a lot of the cast signed up, that's what they believed they were signing up for. But as the movie went through production, the executive got more and more scared, especially because the animation was not cheap. They wanted a more family-friendly appeal. So they started like scaling back the movie by degrees over and over and over. And it lost what made it interesting. So you've kind of got like a movie, like, you know, when you see a movie and you're like, this probably would have been better in its original cut. And it looks like it's been hacked to shit. That's kind of like a lot of people, my understanding is that's what Cool World feels like, is it feels like a movie that couldn't be itself. And it showed. But anyways, if you want to see Kim Basinger as a sexy cartoon, just look it up. Is it Kim Basinger? I can't remember. The teefies. Yeah, I do need to go find. So I made a file that's got like all my color notes for what I want to paint, cut certain sections. So I just want to go find that file very quickly so I can remember what my plan was. Because it has been a hot minute since I consulted it and I have forgotten it all. Where is it? Here? I think I called the file paint plan. I don't remember what I called it. There it is. I found it. Okay, I wanted a Craig blue or Calidor sky. Okay. Lighty. Oh wait, I should also I wanted to paint up these parts too. Okay. But this won't be a dry brush, this will be a solid paint. So I want a little bit of control. This should mostly do the job. Do I have any tarnished brushes to use? Yes, I do. I think the studio that did Cool World was what's the right word? It was like Don Bluth, wasn't it? Am I misremembering that? I feel like it was. It was, okay. I'm not crazy about that detail. Cool. God, I gotta remember like when that movie came out, like there was like so many tie-ins to like kitty brands. And again, like the movie was ultimately that wasn't the intended audience, but they were like, no, here's like Happy Meal or Burger King toys or whatever. Like it's like, have you seen the sexy lady character? This is not meant for 5-year-olds. She's too sexy. Oh wait, no, she was the problem. Now I'm remembering what was right. Kim Basinger was the problem because she signed on to the movie thinking it was going to be a family film because it had the animated component. And she thought it was going to be like Who Framed Roger Rabbit. And then when she started realizing what it wasn't going to be that, she started putting pressure on the executives for the film to be toned down because she was like, I wanted to be able to show the film to my kids. And I was like, you hear that afterwards and you're like, lady, that wasn't the project. Lady. Why? Yeah, that was the thing. It's like, yeah, just go find another movie. Because like I remember that being like a complaint of like Kim Basinger was like she had all these films she couldn't show her kids because like, I mean, anyone familiar with her catalog, she's not wrong. I would not show Basic Instinct to a child. Right? But doesn't mean you have to force the project you ended up on to be a kid's film, right? Ultimately, the moral of the story is sometimes just read the script. Because, like, let's be clear, for a movie like that, especially for animated films, the script was probably already like heavily finalized by the time she joined the project. Animation needs a lot of lead time. Oh, I got too much paint on my brush. Too much paint. Just spread it around. Spread. Yeah. A lot of jams end up on here. So I guess that's just credit to the fact that my playlist is playing songs I actually like. Woo. Sorry, I'm being quiet. I'm in heavy focus mode. Let me see the brush strokes on this. Yeah. Might have to do another coat on that. Also, maybe I should switch up brushes. Brush is a little bit blah. You know, maybe I will. How do you enjoy the current forbidden tea? It kind of looks like a lemonade right now to me. Like a very strong, like a strawberry lemonade or something. Don't drink it. What is the weirdest tool you use for a hobby that's not meant for a hobby? Let's see if I can find another brush I like better. Maybe I'll pull one out of here. Ugh. Yeah, this one should be better. Are there any bigger brushes? Ooh, this one. Have to open it. Open, please. I would like the brush inside. I would like to paint with it. Maybe I can do this. No, I can use this. Like, I know, like, I think we talked about before, like, I would say like my weirdest tools are ultimately stuff that are used for like manis and petties. It has a lot of it has found its way into my painting kit. There we go. Doo, 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 doo. That's one thing I always keep. I end up looking at it like a lot of like mani-pedi stuff for like those displays they have for like nail colors. I've been looking at like a lot of those as like storage racks for my paints, and also that way they're not like they're accessible, you know. Because like right now my current solution is workable, but it's hard to see all my paints because I kind of got them in a case right now. So I'm sitting there like tearing out layers of it to see like what paints I have. I'm gonna get to see this band in concert in a couple weeks. Woo! Yeah. The thing is like honestly, like I find like sometimes like with questions like that, like a tool that I have, it doesn't strike me as a weird tool, you know? It's a tool. I'm using it. It accomplishes a task. And I mean, some of the weird hacks that I've done, I would also not recommend. Like me using Allen keys to try and like put glue on things. No, don't do that. That's me being dumb. Don't copy what I do. Oh, I do like how that's coming out. I do like that. That's got like a nice subtle gold. I like it. I like it. So I think maybe a gray sear would have been a better base. Ah, well, too late. I already did it in black. Ooh. Okay. Oh, there's a little bit of splotching here. Oh, hello again, Die Mannequin. Or CanCon. Think that's proper coverage? Hard to tell sometimes. So sometimes hard to tell under this light. I'll probably end up doing another coat later after maybe doing some shade. Okay. Okay, is there any those parts on here? Hello? Oh yeah, there was this. I was gonna do this red and then this. Okay, so we can do the gun barrel now. Please go over here. Not your turn to be painted. Oops, sorry, camera. I apologize. Not very weird, but I do use. Ooh, that's actually a very good one. Using sponges for like the rust effect on painting. That's really good. That's a really good one. I will say, like I'd initially considered doing rust on this boy, but then I decided no, I want him to be a pristine boy, so I'm not doing it. Actually, you know what? First, I'm gonna. Paint this. Well, hello, Alan Wake 2. How are you today? This is another one, like, as long as you're not paying too much attention to the lyrics, this is a good, like, driving vibe song. Oh, thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. I feel like it's very much in that stage, like, and this is like not trying to be self-deprecating or anything, but like I think it looks bad right now, but it's in that stage where it's supposed to look bad. You know what I mean? Where it's like the paint scheme hasn't come together. Everything's still in progress. So you're just kind of like, it's all just bits and bobs, and you just have to trust in the plan, you know? Trust the process, right? So that's kind of like where I'm at. Like my feeling was like, I don't think it looks good, but I recognize it's not supposed to look good right now. Okay, Gun, I need you to stay still. Thank you. Weird to think that this game is already like, sorry, like talking about Alan Wake 2. It's weird to think the game's like already like coming up on 2 years old, and it's what? It feels like it just came out. It feels like I just streamed it. I have to be careful. The foot paint's pulling up a little bit. We're okay. We're okay. It's weird seeing I guess it ties into something earlier, but like it's seeing like, you know, like people being like, oh, this post is from like 2019, or like this game came out in 2019. I'm like, oh, it's recent, and then like realizing, no, that's over 5 years old. What? What? What is this? I need time to stop moving, please and thank you. Well, keep moving in the sense that like I want it to be like Thanksgiving and I want Halloween. Like I want the holidays to keep happening, but like, you know, the year can stop advancing. We'll just keep, you know, we'll just have internal do-overs. I know. Like, believe you me, I am happy for the end of summer, especially this summer. The summer can go die in a fire. Actually, no, I don't want it to die in a fire. We've had enough of those. We've had enough wildfires this season. Thank you very much. I'm not even in an area that was getting hit by wildfires. I just got the smoke. Yeah, true. Yeah, I know. We're probably gonna get like some sort of like super turbo winter, and it's like, here you go, 30 centimeters, and I'll be like, oh, thank you. So funny that Apocalyptica came up. So I mentioned that I'm going to that concert with Hailstorm. Apocalyptica's the opener. Teehee. That's funny. Oops, sorry. Splurge an additional DC power supply for some of my electronics projects and the magnetic and the Burr machine. I like how no one calls it its proper name anymore. It's just the Burr machine. Yeah. Yeah, let it be confused. And like the frustrating thing is, which I hate to say it, is the algorithm may not be that confused. Like again, you're not the first person to be using like nail equipment and things like that, or what traditionally says as nail equipment in hobby work. So the algorithm may not be that confused. Their machine, yeah. Oh God. Speaking of songs good to drive to, this one, 100% this one. And that's my playlist today. Good to drive to. Sorry. I'm vibing. Alrighty. That's gonna happen. Oh, overexposed for a second there. Ugh. Light, why are you doing that? Don't do it. Stop it. Seriously, Light, what is going on with my camera light? It's weird. Anyways, seems to have stabilized. Or not. I think it's my brush is reflecting weirdly. we go. That's pretty good. Yeah, I like that. Okay. Good. Okay. There we go. I must have done the wrong color. Yeah. Please stay steady. Thank you. Almost went in the wrong one again. The forbidden paint water. It's don't stick your brush in the wrong paint color. Forbidden tea. I'm waiting for the day that someone like is like, I'll pay you $100 to drink from that, and I'll be like, I'll probably still say no because ultimately, I just don't want to drink it. But it does raise the question: is there ultimately a price? It's that joke if someone is like, it's about a certain point, it's just tagging on the details of the price. It's not about whether or not it's moral or something. I don't know. I wouldn't call this one a good driving one because I think the BPM's a little too high. Maybe good for running if you run. I don't run. Okay. I run to get food because I'm hungry, but I don't run for fitness purposes. My sister does that, and I think it's crazy. I commend her for doing marathons and shit, but I will not. Should have already. Yeah, it's true. Could have saved on shipping. I mean, if you still want to order candy, I have suggestions, but one thing I have learned from your prior candy orders is that you have some taste that I do not care for, so you should probably just order your own candy. Peach rings are pretty good. I have peach rings right now. I think I mentioned before, I went and got some candy. I was able to, there's a store in my area that like sells stuff that's like, it's like, what's the right person? Like the stuff that is like, it's safe to sell, it's fine, but there's a flaw in it that keeps it out of like main retail. So like say for instance, the packaging is mislabeled. Like it says it's barbecue flavor, but the contents are actually salt and vinegar. So it's like they're fine, but they are not. You can't put that on a grocery store shelf because it's mislabeled. So the store carries like that stuff specifically. And I got a bag of 2 bags of gummies that were mislabeled because they were supposed to be a bag of mixed gummies, but one was entirely gummy bears and one was entirely peach rings. So I got those for really cheap. And they are good. Yeah, like kind of like a liquidation. Like it's like the stuff is still good. It's still perfectly fine gummies. It's just not gonna the major retailers just won't deal with it. I think that's the name. I think the franchise has gone through a rebrand. I'm not too sure, but yeah, like that idea where it's like it's almost perfect. But yeah, discount gummies. The other thing I like about that store is they do a lot of like the imported soda. So like a lot of the flavors of like a Coke and stuff like that that you can't normally get easily in Canada, they also carry. Like say for instance, featuring yeah, hey Grim. They carry it's like say for instance vanilla Coke. For some reason vanilla Coke is very hard to find in Canada. They don't import it, and I don't know why. So they regularly have it, or like there's like there was like an orange blossom not Pepsi, Coke that I remember them having, but like stuff like that. Yeah, or like the items are like yeah. Oh, cool! Like yeah, like that'd be cool. Like being able to go to like a candy factory and like yeah, again you can kind of buy their mistake bags and like there's like the Purdy's brand of chocolate that has that at their cache where it's like they'll have like basically like deeply discounted truffles because they're like these have flaws in them. We aren't going to put them in the nice gift boxes, but if you just want a bunch of like not warthogs, that's not the term of them, the little hedgehogs, they're going to be slightly misshapen. They're deeply discounted. They taste fine. They just don't look pretty. Call me Grim. Again, Grim was my father. Grimathy the second. Stay still. Okay, that came to good. Yeah. I have to figure out what I have to do, what I want to do with all these skulls. Skulls. The bane of my existence. Skulls. Don't play Warhammer unless you like painting skulls. That's fine. I'll bedazzle them. Okay. I think I'm going to do the railings in a different metallic. I think maybe lead belcher. I'll think on it. How are we doing? Did I fix all my oopses? Oh, there's a little bit of weak paint here. Hey, Grim. Doesn't this look like a very nice flavor of boba? Like one of the shimmer flavors or something like that, like a strawberry shimmer or something. Doesn't it look like you want to actually drink it? Don't actually drink it. It's paint water. Don't drink it. Whoops. I mean, I know. It does look good, doesn't it? God damn. Don't actually, though. It's paint. Yeah. It does look a little weak. I hear you on that. Gotta be careful, make sure that paint doesn't pool in here. I will pay for that later if I don't fix it. A question, like a bit of a discussion point came up, Grim, that I was trying to figure out the word for it. You might know. Like what is like a song that's like really good to like drive to? Like it's just like got like a good beat or like a vibe to it that like I find like sometimes a lot of synth wavy stuff kind of falls on that stuff, like especially if you're driving at night. I feel like there's like a specific name for it and I can't remember it. Do you remember the name of it? Driving songs? I don't know. Nah, fair enough. I bet there is, but it's not in English. Like, like like see sometimes something and it's like say for instance, my sister recently sent me about like a portmanteau for in Japanese that's meant for be like ugly cute. And I believe it was like busokawa. Busokawa. I'm probably butchering the pronunciation, but the idea was that like it's supposed to be the mix of the words ugly and cute and it's supposed to reference like, like a pug. It's ugly cute. I mean, I don't personally agree with that statement. I think pugs are just kind of ugly. But anyways, every time I see their nose, I'm like, these poor things can't breathe. Anyways, yeah, I know. My very closeted sister, not because like she's gay or anything, but because she just doesn't want to admit that she really likes X-Men. Like here's a story of the depths of my sister's nerddom that she would not want me telling anyone. And I trust you guys. It's not like you're going to contact my sister and be like, by the way, Elizabeth outed you. So I've seen the ending of Final Fantasy VI. The reason I've seen the ending of Final Fantasy VI is my sister beat the game before me. She got very, very in. So like initially I was playing Final Fantasy VI and then we hit the opera house and my sister's locked in. She is like, I am here. This is my obsession now. Like she even pulled out a piano and started like my sister's can somewhat play piano. And she was able to put together parts of the opera house theme on piano by listening alone. Like this is how locked in she is right now. Anyways, she pulls off the realm Gao sketch glitch because this is how locked in she is. And if you're not familiar with this glitch, what it means is there's a character named Gao in the Veldt. He's your kind of the blue mate, he's the berserker of the game. And the idea is you release Gao into this location called the Veldt where there's monsters, and he will come back learning things called rages. It allows him to copy an enemy for the battle. So he goes into berserk mode, but he copies the moveset of an enemy. So he can be quite powerful if you know what rages to use. There is a brief window when Gao returns that you can accidentally attack him from your own party because he basically shows up at the end of the battle being like, "Oh, it's Gao! I am back to join my party. Please don't hit me." There's another character named Realm, and she has what I guess would now be called the Pictomancer class. And what she would do is she would sketch an enemy, and it would use like a one-time attack based on the enemy she sketched. If she triggered her sketch ability while in that brief window while Gao was available and targetable, it triggers a glitch in the game because it doesn't know what to do. And the game, like, apparently the fix was eventually put out in later reprints of the game, but the initial run didn't have the glitch sorted out in the North American version. So she pulled off this glitch. And what happens is it does something to your inventory and everything is set to 99, even if you don't have the item. So we're talking, she now had 99 of the ultimate sword, 99 of the second best sword, 99 like magicites, which is technically not supposed to be a quantity. Like everything got set to 99. So she basically coasted the rest of the game because she now had access to these weapons she wasn't supposed to. And like multiple copies. Like some of these are not supposed to be like, you're supposed to get one of them in the game to keep it balanced. And she's got like 99 copies. Because like, so like, let's be clear. She, kept enough for the party to keep them all kitted out and then sold everything else. So she is drowning in money. So that means she can buy all like the late game items in the World of Ruin. Like, it's like, oh, like, I'm just going to buy some elixirs because I fucking feel like it, right? So she just coasts the rest of the game. So that's how I saw the end of Final Fantasy VI. My sister pulled off the glitch. And yeah. So if my sister ever tries to pretend she's not a nerd, she's lying. Lying. She won't admit it. Also, I have photos of her cosplaying. Ha 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 ha. Unfortunately, this is the biggest thing that pisses me off. I was owed. Like, I always told my sister, when you get married, I'm going to have a presentation ready. It's going to be a PowerPoint presentation, and it's going to be pictures of your cosplay. I'm going to make sure everybody sees it. Here's the shitty part, Ishmael. She pretends she doesn't remember. I don't know if she legitimately forgets, but she pretends she doesn't remember. She's like, oh, what is Final Fantasy VI? I don't know what that one is. Is that the one with the tree? Anyways, like she plays very stupid. It is hard to get her to break kayfabe. Anyway, sorry. So I always warned her about this, and she understood that I was going to show these photos. She has her wedding during COVID. There's like no guests. There's like let's be clear. It's basically a ceremony, and then everyone goes home. I lost my opportunity. I lost it. I didn't get to do my PowerPoint presentation because she got married during stupid fucking COVID. And she got out of it. I was robbed. My God-given right as an older sister to show embarrassing pictures of her in cosplays. And I didn't even get it. Sorry. I remain bitter. I also have a video of her with Sprite coming out of her nose. She likes to forget that I have that. She said it burned. Because it was like stupidly carbonated at the time. Yeah, it's true. I have plans for my nephew, and it's called, like, she's already like got the kid like enrolled in soccer and everything. It's like, I look forward to his video game education. But yeah, like, what did my sister cosplay as? She's cosplayed, she did a character, I believe her name is, I forget her name, but she's from Star Ocean, The Second Departure. And what are the ones that she done? That's the big one I can remember. She's done a few. She did a character from Magic Knight Rayearth. She did Fu. Few. Anyways, I just also noticed it's after 11, so it's time for me to stop telling embarrassing stories about my sister when she's not around to defend herself and just, wrap up stream. Maybe next time, if I remember. But yeah, like I will say that the origin a lot of like my voices and things like that. One thing that my sister and I used to do when we played JRPGs together is that we would take turns voicing the different characters, because it was just a fun thing to do. Like, it kind of was like a fun way to like play the game together when it's ultimately a one-player game, right? It was engagement. Anyway, let me just quickly put this aside and I'll get ready to wrap up. Because unfortunately, I have to go to work tomorrow. So I have to wrap up stream and behave. One of your sister's birthday parties. Yeah, so here's the other thing. So my sister's, she recently had a milestone birthday. And they had it at a bowling hall. And have you ever tried to see setting up a PowerPoint presentation at a bowling hall? You quickly give up. The Duchess's voice is definitely one I used while we were doing like voices from different characters. It was really funny. Here's another little bit of like getting at my sister. For Final Fantasy VI, my sister insisted on being Sellies. I could not be Sellies. No way, no how. Didn't matter. Always, she must always be Sellies. And her and Locke were the OTP. Anywho, me and your brother just watched you go, so what is happening? Anyway, let's get all wrapped up. Here we go. Schedule. All right. Well, the schedule is already a bit of a lie because I streamed today and it's Wednesday. But anyways, tomorrow it's Thursday. Grim will be here and he will be streaming Pokemon Black. I will believe it will be a Nuzlocke run. I do not know if it will be a randomized run, but I've heard Pokemon Black is very hard and maybe it shouldn't be. I don't know. Please come to stream and give Grim lots of luck and name his Pokemon. No, Razaman is Gotcha. Yeah. And then next will be Friday, and it'll be me again at 8 p.m. And I'll be starting a game called Felix the Reaper. It is supposed to be a very cute game, very adorable. It's about a Reaper that dances and like jams. So I'm here for it. No stream on Saturday, but Flora and I will be back on Sunday for Elden Ring. More co-op mod, more bosses beat us up. That will be at 2 p.m. Circling back around next Monday, I believe Flora will be continuing with 9 Souls at 2 p.m. I think she's getting close to the end on that one. And then I suspect at that point, actually no, so then and I'll be back on Tuesday. And then I think Wednesdays for Flora, I believe her plan is to do Hollow Knight, or she might go straight on to Silk Song. I'm not sure yet. We'll find out. She'll tell me, and then I'll put it on next week's schedule. Anyway, that takes care of the schedule. Let's do the doobly-doos. If you haven't already, please consider following the Dungeon Lounge on social media. Alternatively, our Discord. You can see pictures of cats. Cats. Finally, if you want to check out VODs of any of our prior playthroughs of games or shenanigans, YouTube for the VODs. Alrighty. With all of that taken care of, great time. Homestead live. Oh. How about we raid into Coffin Cuddles? She's still playing Zero Escape. I'm going to bother Grim. Ha ha ha. Hey Grim, Ice 9. No. I do legitimately recommend the Zero Escape games. They're fun. I don't know if I'll ever stream them, but they are fun. They are in that kind of same vein as like some of the games where you're just like, what is this craziness? Anyway, great time. Good night, everyone. Thank you again for joining. I hope you have a great rest of your week, and hopefully we'll see you at one of our other streams. Thank you. And yeah. Yeah, that would be a lot of fun. That would be really great, Grim. That would be great. All right, off we go. Good night, everyone. Goodbye.